and I want to honor choices that women make that may seem different, that may seem easy, that are not. Welcome to Balancing Life's Issues and our Women's History Month podcast. We're super excited to have you here. I am Wendy Wollner. I am the founder and CEO of Balancing Life's Issues. I am excited to introduce Women's History Month. It's a really important topic to me, and so come on in and have a seat and let's chat. So we're going to be doing a whole month of just wonderful stories and people inviting you into their living rooms and sharing their relationship to their life as someone in the business world maybe, or in the community world, but sharing women's stories. So it's really important that we listen and we hear, and maybe there's something that one of us says that will inspire us to make changes or just to validate how awesome we're doing. So welcome in, and I'll kick it off and tell you my story. My whole life I wanted to be a teacher. Matter of fact, just sort of an interesting fun fact is when I was in sixth grade, my teachers, the teacher union went on strike, and they called me in. I mean, I'm in sixth grade, and they asked me if I would run some reading groups for some of my friends, so that while the teachers were on strike, we would continue learning. And I ran these reading circles. And I can tell you, I still remember the feeling of sitting with a group of people and discussing really interesting things as a sixth grader. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And it stayed with me. So, and my parents were so encouraging, which is, of course, very helpful. And I fast forward, and now I'm 25 in this story. And I got divorced, and I know so many of us can relate to a change in our marriage. And I don't want to say that, my marriage was a great marriage, so the divorce wasn't a devastating loss of a relationship, but it was a wake-up call to what do I want to do, and what do I want to be, and what do I really want from this life. And I think one of the things that's so important to me is that introspection, that we take time in busy days and ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing? Am I making the right choices? And so I founded Balancing Life's Issues. It seems like a quirky idea, right? It doesn't really make sense, a lot of what we do. And next year will be our 25th official year of being in business, which is pretty awesome. And a lot of what we do on a daily basis, a lot of what I do on a daily basis doesn't fit regular linear thinking. And to me, that's exciting, because Women's History Month is all about taking risks and chances and, oh my goodness, messing up and having, I like to coin myself as I am perfectly imperfect. I do not think there's anything that I've ever done in my life that is perfect or even close to perfect. And every story I tell and every story I look for is how we've fallen down and how we've gotten up and how we've learned. And it's so interesting to me, because I thought I would end on what has become our most popular social media post ever. And I think that's always interesting to see what attracts other people. But this is a story that takes place pretty soon after September 11th. And yes, I'm a New Yorker, but September 11th touched everybody in such an incredibly emotional way that I revisit that feeling all the time. And in the story, my children were young, very young, and they were very scared. I was supposed to be in the buildings on that day, and by the luck, it got switched, and I was there the day before. And so my kids were scared. They were really anxious about that experience. And about 6 months later, I was doing a very, very big speech, if you can imagine, in a nightclub, actually, in Manhattan. And really cool place. It was pretty dark, and there was maybe a few thousand people. And my phone rang. And my kids know exactly my schedule. They know the hour of when never to call me. I'm really clear about it. As a matter of fact, I call it the pool of blood rule. Like, don't call me between 10 and 11. I'll be at a speech unless it's a pool of blood, right? So the fact that the phone rang, I knew was something terrible. And I answered the phone in front of thousands of people, and it was my younger son, and he just needed to hear my voice. It was a very emotional time, and he needed a connection to his mother, and I made the right choice. And what's interesting to me about that choice was it was somebody said to me, "Oh, that was so courageous," or "that was brave," or "I wouldn't have answered the phone." I don't know what you would have done, but I can tell you that it empowered me to realize that we have to understand prioritization, and we have to be clear to ourselves, and there should never be a judgment about what's important to anybody else but yourself. But I want to honor this month, and I want to honor choices that women make that may seem different, that may seem easy, that are not. And I'm excited for you all month long to bring to you a variety of different women, a variety of different stories, and just inviting you into our living rooms to hear from us stories that impacted our lives. So I hope you have a great rest of the day. Always love to hear your comments and your stories and your thoughts. Feel free to drop them off. Thanks for listening.
This has been a production of Balancing Life's Issues with your hosts, Kai Sorensen and Wendy Wollner. Produced by me, Kai. Rate, leave a review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen so you can get brand new episodes as they drop. Got an idea for the show? Email me, kai@balancinglifesissues.com. Anything to add, Miles?